Kolchak the Night Stalker will not be seen tonight so that we may bring you the following special program. Watch Kolchak the Night Stalker next week at its regularly scheduled time.
Hey everybody, it's me, Chef Antonio, and look it, I'm in London.
Pip hip and all that tippity top pip pip pop pop pop.
What do you think of my British accent? I'm a pretty good, huh? Well, I'm here right now. London Bridge is not falling down. I'm right here. I'm about ready to go do some sightseeing in London. I'm having such a good time. A little later, I'm going to meet up with the chef Gordon Ramsay and the chef Contessa Maria. And we're gonna rock the town. We're gonna rock it all night long. But today, a very special episode of Slavic Cooking. Our two chefs are good, beautiful twins, brothers and sisters, Anton and Maruska Draback, and they're gonna make the traditional Slavic dish called Haluski. It is, I'm just thinking about it. I might come back and eat it right now. The heck with the trip. I'm coming home to eat some of that Haluski.
It's time to start the show.
Charles and Emma Draback were married and lived those early years together in the village of Slavorum. Their first child, Anton, was born early on a cold December morning, followed by his twin sister Maruska 7.5 years later. Charles and Emma had many jobs in their native land: bulb testers, chicken rustlers, circus folks, puppet show performers, stunt pilots, and moonshiners. But their first and true love was always cooking in the kitchen. Charles and Emma emigrated to the United States in 1972, and again in 1976, 1983, and finally in 1994. Anton and Maruska followed their parents' true dream by attending culinary school in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, under the guidance of renowned chef Butch Lucas. The twins' first venture in the food world was starting the highly successful Fruitcakes R Us. They have served as official chefs for the city of Swearsville, as well as finding new and exciting ways to use pierogies for peace. Today they are both members of the Brunon Krieger Orchestra, as well as serving as co-presidents for Slavic Food for the Homeless. On today's show, they are preparing a traditional Slavic dish, the comforting, easy-to-prepare halushka. And now, the Chef Antonio Cooking Show.
Раз, два!
Chef Antonio. Hello everybody and welcome to the Chef Antonio Cooking Show, and it's our honor to be with you guys today.
Hi everyone.
I'm Anton.
I'm Maruska.
And we're the Draback twins, and we're honored to be doing today's show. Chef is in London right now with Gordon Ramsay and Chef Contessa Maria.
Oh, wow.
And the 3 junior chefs are over there, so they're just having a blast right now.
Hey, good for them.
And I'd like to say that we're twins, but Maruska was actually born 7.5 years after I was, and as far as I know, Maruska, that was the single longest labor of any person that's ever been on the planet before.
I would say 7 years is a very long labor, indeed.
We are
Also honored to have Chef Contessa Maria's Mahi is here supervising the financial aspects of the show. So Mahi, welcome. And
She does get around despite a pandemic. I guess she puts a little mask on her or something.
well, she also selected the cabbage and the potatoes for today's cook.
Oh, Mahi, yeah.
I'd like to explain the hair. This is not normally our hair color, but about 4 weeks ago, we were doing a special blueberry pierogi cook special for the Swearsville the Department of Recreation, and we had a bit of an explosion and an accident.
Kind of like Violet from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Remember
right.
she turned into that big purple blueberry?
They didn't want to squeeze us, but
They didn't want to squeeze us.
this is for a couple more weeks. Our hair is going to be this color.
My eyebrows just turned back to a regular color, but the hair, that may take 7 years, like labor.
Now, our parents, Charles and Emma,
Yes.
God rest their soul, when they left us their recipes. And one of the recipes they left us, which we've always loved our whole life, was their traditional Slavic Haluski. Now, Haluski can be made in many ways besides what we've seen. People can add ham and bacon and onions and garlic, and you can spice it up any way you want, but this is the traditional.
This is traditional, as I recall so many times in the kitchen watching my mom make this. This is as traditional as it's going to get. I'm sure you remember those days as well.
Oh, yes.
I'm really excited to cook this. It's going to bring back a lot of memories, and I can't wait to just taste it later.
I know.
I know.
Well, we're going to take a 1-minute break here, watch one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with our ingredients.
Here are our ingredients today. We're going to start with, clearly, one of the most important parts is a large head of cabbage. It looks really good and fresh, and so you have your head of cabbage. We have 2 large potatoes, and we'll show you what we're going to do with those later. We have 1 egg. We have traditional all-purpose flour, vegetable oil, and a little bit of salt to taste. And the ingredients, that's it. Pretty simple. And we're going to go from here.
What's the first thing we're going to do, Maruska?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these potatoes and we are going to peel them and we are going to grate them until they're almost kind of like pulpy.
Yeah.
Pulpy? Is that a word, pulpy?
Pulpy, yeah, because there's a lot of liquid in potatoes that people don't realize.
Yeah, and when they're pulpy and watery, that's when we're going to add the flour and kind of make like a paste out of it. And then that's when all the magic happens.
Potato balls, like a ganache.
Ganache or little dumplings.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our first step. We're going to clean them and wash them because just like our hands in the kitchen, everything has to be clean.
Everything, aseptic.
Hands. So we're going to start off, we're going to clean them, wash them, I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to grate them with a grater.
Okay.
All right.
So right now Maruska is peeling the potatoes. Is there any sort of anything special with your peeler? That's a traditional peeler used in
And no, just try not to peel off your skin.
Yes, that's right, folks. Be
and wreck your nails.
Very, very careful.
So no, you just go around the potato and just get off all the skin and any brown spots there might be. Like we'll peel that out just like that. But you just want a nice clean potato with no skin on it.
And you'll do that with both your potatoes?
I will do it with both, yep. This is the first step before we start to grate it and make it all pulpy. Say it. Pulpy.
Hi, we're back.
Okay, so now after we've peeled and cleaned our potatoes, this is where we grate it. And a grater has many different sides. I'm choosing this side just to kind of get it, like I said, pulpy. And I'll kind of pull out what it's supposed to look like. Kind of mealy and wet, but we're going to turn that into really something beautiful. So just have to be really careful not to cut yourself because your fingers get really close to the blades. So
It can get a little messy.
yeah, it's a little messy, but you know what? What do they say? You have to break some eggs to make an omelet.
Right.
So we have to grate some potatoes to make some haluski, right?
Some of the more modern recipes just show like egg noodles being made in lieu of this, but
Yes.
this is old school cooking right here. This
This is love right here. It's really easy to like boil some noodles, But when you get the fresh ingredients, a fresh potato like this, there's nothing better. And you know, this is how I remember our mother doing it, so this is the way that we're gonna do it, right?
Now, while she's doing that, I'm gonna start to cut up the cabbage. I'll cut out the I forget what do they call it?
The core.
The core. That's right, the
Silly
core.
Anton.
I know.
You're blue.
I still got a little blueberry on the brain. And then we'll be back when we have our cabbage cut and our potato
Pulverized.
Pulverized. Yeah.
That's a big word, yeah.
Potato pulp. It's going to be the new Quentin Tarantino movie, Potato Pulp.
All right, Anton, we're at a really critical point. My hands are tired, but these are the 2 large peeled potatoes. They're pulpy potatoes, and they have this kind of pulpy consistency at this point. And then you took the cabbage, cleaned it, cored it, cut it into thin slices just like this, because magic is going to happen with both of these things later. But the first thing we're going to do is we have this potato mixture right here. I'm going to add 1 egg and some flour, and we're going to make it into a nice smooth consistency. So how about we do that next?
Right, we've got our water boiling right now.
Water boiling is on the stove, so that'll take a few minutes until that boils. I think I'll start on the potato mixture. Beat it, get yourself an egg and beat it. Okay, we're ready to make our potato pulp into a smooth consistency. So in this little bowl, I put the egg. I'm just gonna beat it first. You know, get yourself an egg and beat it, just like Michael Jackson says. Or no, that was a Weird Al Yankovic, right? Okay, so that's our egg right there. Ooh, slimy little sucker. I'm gonna pour that in the potato mixture. There we go. Put that over there. We're going to add a little salt to taste. I'm not really sure how much we'll add, but maybe does that sound good?
If you add just a little now, you can always add later on when your dish has been served.
True. Okay, now this might be the tricky part. We're going to add flour to make it a smooth consistency. So what do you think? We start with maybe like this much and go from there?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
We're gonna try that. And should we use this? Let's try that.
Yeah.
As opposed to oh, look at that, it's looking all pasty.
It's very pasty.
Oh yeah, then we might not add a little bit more flour, as I remember our mother doing.
Yeah, I think it has to be a little bit more dough-like.
Right, okay, so we'll add a little bit more and see how that goes. You know, we can always add more. We can't take away. Mix, 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 as Chef Antonio says, mixy, mixy, mixy.
Yes.
Stirry, stirry, stirry. I'm thinking a little bit more. What do you think?
When I heard that, when he heard we were making haluski, that he actually changed his travel plans to come back a few days earlier to get some leftovers, and I couldn't guarantee him that there would be leftovers.
Oh, I doubt there's going to be leftovers. No leftovers of this today.
No, this is, and again, this was made during some tough times for Eastern European families, and this went a long way for not a lot of money.
That's right. You could feed a lot of mouths with this. And I think this will be our last flour. So maybe that was probably a quarter cup, I'm thinking, maybe a little bit more of the flour. You just kind of have to eyeball it.
Right.
Look at that. That's a smooth consistency, right?
It is. It's very smooth. And again, you can just imagine when Maruska puts it in the boiling water, it'll form just a little potato ball, and that'll just be the substance of basically the whole
Right, but you remember, Anton, how we transfer it from here to the boiling water? That's the most special part that I remember as a memory.
I can't wait.
So we're going to show that here real soon.
It's like throwing kids off a roller coaster.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right into the deep end.
Click, 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 click. Okay, so we'll head to that part next. Okay, so upon a further evaluation, Anton and I decided that although it was a smooth consistency, it was not stiff enough. It must be smooth and stiff. Wink, wink. So this is kind of what it should look, a little pasty like that. So you see the difference from before. So this is where the fun comes in. So now we take the potato mixture and we put it on a large plate. I don't know why Mom ever did it on a large plate. Did you ever really understand that?
No. I suppose if you don't have a large plate at home, you could go right from the bowl into the water.
Yeah, yes, we could. Okay, so I'm going to try to get as much of this out as we can, although it looks like we have a fair amount here.
Now, when we start making the potato balls, are we going to cook the cabbage around the same time? What is the
okay, so once we put this into the boiling water, which the water is boiling already, once you put it in, of course it's going to cool down the water, and once the water comes up to a boil again, it's going to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes into this, we should start heating up our oil and get our cabbage ready, because when this is done cooking and the cabbage is done cooking, we're going to mix it all together, and that's it.
That's it.
When that's it, then we just eat.
That's it.
Right.
Get your appetite on.
That's right. Okay, our water is boiling, and I hope I remember how to do this properly, because I was just a little kid. But as I remember, I'm going to take the corner here, and you just plop, 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 plop. And it's going to actually turn into something really good. Weird, huh? Anton, you're laughing at me. Okay, now you notice how the water stopped boiling, but that's okay. Plop, plop. It's weird, isn't it?
Very weird.
And you just have to have a lot of patience and a lot of left arm strength, because this is pretty heavy. And just little pieces that are going to...
They're eventually going to rise to the surface and be fully cooked.
That's what we hope.
And like any dish that you prepare for the first time, and this is the first time we're preparing it, there might be some trial and errors that we can correct down the future.
That's right.
Maybe a little stiffer, maybe in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? It all eats good.
It's all going to taste good when it's done. Oh, look at that. Just let me lower the heat a little bit. I don't want this to boil over, but yet we want it to boil. So plop, plop. Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a potato it is.
That looks so delicious. I'd almost take a bite of it now.
Well, it's a little
Oh, I
raw.
see our first one has risen to the surface.
Yeah.
Like Lazarus has risen from the dead.
Oh, Anton, you're so funny. I'm so glad you're my twin. But when are we going to get rid of this blue hair?
Well, I heard a couple more weeks and a few more, and we may have to actually get a hair dye involved.
Yeah, I was glad the eyebrows went back. That was
Holy boy,
that was really a shocker
we
for
were
most.
some odd-looking twins for a few weeks there.
I know.
Yes,
I'm getting used to it, though. You know.
I know.
In these times, blue isn't a bad
Blue
way to
isn't
look.
bad. At least they
Blue
can
is good.
They can see us coming.
That's right. Okay, we're almost done. I'm going to turn this back up. I want to bring it to a boil. Look at this, almost all the potatoes done.
And again, once it starts to boil, how long approximately do you cook these for?
Once it comes back to a full boil, about 10 to 15 minutes until they're cooked thoroughly. So at this point, we'll probably switch over to the cabbage side of this meal.
Okay, now Maruska's going to add the oil to our pan.
Okay, we're gonna add the oil and you just kind of judge it. I'm gonna think about that much oil should work. What do you think, Anton?
You know what? That looks beautiful. But like any recipe, you can adjust as you go along, learn, change it the next time you do it.
That's right. I'm gonna put this on about medium high, just to get it nice and hot. We want the oil to be pretty hot before we put our cabbage in because we're really gonna fry the cabbage. And if anybody's ever disliked cabbage, once you fry it, it's unbelievable. Anything fried is good, right?
That's right. And it looks like we have a big old gigantic head of hair as far as the cabbage,
Yeah,
but it will wilt. It will wilt.
Yeah, it will wilt down.
And become a lot more pliable.
Right, and then over here we still have our potato dumplings cooking. Oh, I can see like little chunkettes over there.
There's life.
Yep, and we've got about 11 and a half minutes to go on that. So we'll wait for this to heat up. We'll wait for that to continue cooking, and we'll go from there. Okay, Anton, I think the oil is hot now. Looks pretty hot. I can see it steaming. Look at this big hole. Wow, I hope I can get this safely in the pan.
If you have too much cabbage, you could save a little and have a little coleslaw on the side.
Oh, do you hear that?
Oh, that is, as Chef Antonio would say, it sounds sizzly.
Sizzly. Let's try that. I know it's going to wilt down some, so, oops. That's a big piece we don't need.
I know, that one came along pretty well.
Silly.
Bad cutting by Anton.
All right.
Now, did you use a special kind of oil or just vegetable oil?
I just used plain old vegetable oil. I imagine you could use like canola oil, not olive oil. I wouldn't use olive oil for that. Just plain old vegetable oil. What do you think? You think that's going to be enough and save this for coleslaw later?
Save that for some coleslaw.
Okay, we'll put that to the side. Now we'll give it, I'm going to lower the heat a little bit. And we're about to fry up some cabbage. We'll take a little time to get all the oil around each piece of cabbage. May lower it a little bit. I don't want to burn it, but we do want to fry it up. Oh, I could smell it. Can you smell it? Oh, man.
It's unbelievable.
I wish our audience could smell it, but it's smelling good.
For season 2, Chef Antonio is trying to implement a scratch and sniff part that goes with each episode.
Wow.
Where the viewer can scratch at a certain time and smell what's cooking.
Wow, that would be crazy, huh?
It would be unbelievable.
You mean he may need to go on Shark Tank and do something about that?
Well, I think that's what he's talking to Gordon Ramsay and Chef Contessa Maria. The three of them, the three minds.
That's right, they're incredible together. They are incredible.
I did get some slightly bad news. Alan the alien was arrested for public drunkenness.
Oh,
yes,
did he really?
He exposed himself to people in front of Big Ben.
Well, you know, it is a crazy world out there, so it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe he went and had a little bit too much to drink, and you know how those aliens can be.
So far, that's his favorite part of our world is the liquor.
Isn't it in all of us?
That's right. But they are in lockdown. I will point that out.
Yes, they are. They're in lockdown for quite a while, so he must have
he's
drank
drunk and he's in lockdown.
He drank it in his little flying saucer, whatever he came here on. Look at how good this is looking. Everything's getting coated with the oil. You know, maybe you could do this with butter too, but the recipe called for oil, so we went with oil.
Now, do you season that cabbage at all with that?
I'm gonna give it just a little few grinds of salt, because cabbage can be pretty bland. We will continue cooking this until the cabbage actually turns brown and has kind of that fried look. Oh, that smell.
So we'll be right back after this message, and we can only wish that our cousin Marty, who we used to be all kept down in the basement and were called up when the food was ready, and Marty was always the first at the table and the last to leave.
Let him know! A little salt, a little pepper for some color.
It appears to me, as we're making this, and this is the first time we've actually made it. We've eaten it quite a few times, but in honor of our parents and all the Slovak lovers of food out there, this is the first time we've made it. You've got to coordinate
the timing of everything, and we're learning as we're going.
Right, I think this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought because we had a lot of cabbage here.
We did. We had a lot of cabbage.
And we're down to the 1 minute mark on the potatoes.
Right. She's almost done.
Almost done, yeah.
And what we'll do then is probably put that through a colander and have the potatoes waiting to go into the mixture of the cabbage and the oil.
Just make sure that the cabbage is just tender.
Right.
Oh!
She's a done!
She's a done! She's a done! She's a done! She's a done! Woo!
Oh, yeah. See what it's doing.
Oh! I think we'll give it another minute. So you notice that you see that the cabbage is getting brown?
Oh, Maruska, I tell you what, right now the smells are beginning to affect me.
I know,
I feel
right?
like
I'm getting intoxicated.
I feel like a little kid
cabbage.
back in Slavorum again. Oh my goodness.
This is taking a while to cook, but you know everything is worth waiting for. That is good. So
all good things
that's
take
right.
time.
So we're just going to let this cook a little bit more. I'm going to stop stirring it for the moment, and then we're probably going to switch over and we're going to drain the potato mixture and have that ready. So when the cabbage is done, we mix it all together.
We pulled out one cabbage ball to give a look, and we decided to go just a couple more minutes more than the 15, so they may come in about 20 minutes.
Right, I made mine a little bit thicker maybe than
and maybe
mother
the
made, so.
potatoes were bigger than the ones in the old school recipe.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we'll go ahead and drain this now while the cabbage continues to cook. So here's the big moment. Our potato mixture is done. Hopefully we have little tiny nuggets of potatoes. So be careful when you drain it because it's super hot.
That's right.
And we're going to put it.
This would be a good time.
I might want to
if
get
you
a little
if you
lower.
own the Chef Antonio official talking oven mitts, to use them.
Oh yes, that would be a good time.
But
Woo-wee! That's hot.
that's nice and steamy, or as Chef Antonio says, little steamy wonder.
Now this might not drain as quickly as you want because there still might be some pulp pieces.
It's thick.
It's thick, yeah. Oh, look at that though. So I'm just going to kind of twirl it around, but you see the little balls there?
It's just perfect.
You know, for as big as those potatoes were, I would have thought we'd have more balls in there. But you know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Oh, I'm getting quite the facial here. Woo!
You are, yes.
Yeah, I think some of the pulp is sticking to the bottom. Oh, look at that. It's kind of like a little bit like Spätzle, don't you think?
Exactly. You know what? It's sort of like, pierogies and ravioli and knishes. They're all basically same ideas, just slight variations of the same thing. Dough filled with meat. This is the same thing again as ganache, as Spätzle. It's, I'm sure, the tortellinis. This is the same thing,
Right.
Just taking what you have and serving it up in the most efficient way. And Mahi is joining us now.
And it's very hot over here, Mahi. So, yeah, I can see that we probably should have made our dough a little bit firmer. But that's okay. I'm throwing the whole mixture into the cabbage. Right. So it really doesn't matter because ultimately what we're going to have is potato and cabbage. We're going to put that over here. We're going to do a little mix. Oh, see how it's all fried up?
It is.
Oh, it's really fried. You really want to get a good brown color on it. Cook thoroughly so it's nice and tender. Look at that.
But you sure needed that big frying pan.
Yeah, I know.
And you see now how it's kind of reduced itself dramatically.
Yes.
Which would be perfect for the amount of potato that we have.
And now it's time to mix so we can eat. Well, that didn't rhyme, did it? Okay, here we're gonna go. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Let me turn some heat on. I'm gonna mix it together. It may look like a hot mess right now, but let me tell you,
This is going to be some good stuff. And you know, you can see just from a few basic ingredients how much food it actually yields to feed a family. And pretty cheaply at that.
Exactly. Bet you the cost of the cabbage and the potatoes is probably $2 at the most.
I know. And how many mouths can you feed with this?
That's
a
right.
Lot. Look at this.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
So I think it's time to plate.
But to eat.
You know, let's just get a little close up of the little dumpling here. I don't want to use my hands, but this is kind of what it looks like when it's done. It just turns like into a little ball, a little hard little potato ball.
What's that? Wait. I hear the monkeys.
You hear the monkeys? Oh, those silly monkeys!
How did they know we were here today?
They're those crazy
They're
monkeys.
everywhere. They're the Chef Antonio groupies.
So this is I don't know if this is the Haluski part. Well, I guess the whole thing is the Haluski part.
It now is, yes.
But this is the potato. Plop.
Yes.
All right, time to plate and eat.
Let's plate.
Okay, it's time to put it on the plate. The best part of the meal. Here we go.
Maruska, I'm getting so excited right now.
Oh my gosh, I am too. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
that's a beautiful thing right there.
Oh.
Looks just like I remember.
That's some Eastern European magic right there.
Yes, it is. Here we go. Plate number 2. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even know what to do with myself. I think after we eat this for lunch, we're not going to eat all day. What do you think?
No, I think there'll be a nap involved.
I think
I'll be
so.
like an old bear in a couple of hours.
So all we need is a fork and a fork, and I think it's time to eat. Now Anton and Maruska really can't be twins unless we put on our matching masks.
That's right.
So now we're officially twins, right?
twins, yes.
Right. Hey, fist bump. We did good today, right?
Oh, I can't.
Shall we eat?
Yes, let's
Okay, let's try this. Get a little bit of the
Thank
cabbage.
you so much for letting me share this cooking experience with you,
Oh, and
Maruska.
thank you. This was awesome. Ready?
Yeah.
A little bit of salt.
Maybe a little bit of salt.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maruska said, it comes out sometimes a little bland.
Yeah, salt. I do remember Mom telling us to put salt on it.
And again, you could have added meat, you could have added bacon, you could have added onion. There's quite a few variations.
I got a nice bunch of hunks of potato right here. Let's try that.
Oh. We're giving this one thumbs up. Thumbs up.
This is really good, Anton. Come on.
My.
Woo!
Thank
Come on.
you for everybody associated with the Chef Antonio show. Have a good day and enjoy, and hopefully we'll see you in season 2.
And peace and love to the world.
I want more.
I want more too.